but man, we were just talking about Mickey Rourke.
Awesome.
And the life he's had. And in The Gecko, man, like he was doing movies and his acting style was intimidating. Intimidating for people like Robert De Niro when he did that movie about the devil.
Yeah, that one they did together.
And they were just like, I'm fucking better than you, I'm better than you. And the movie failed. It was just like too much ego on screen at once.
It's a very strange movie, but
it was like Angel Heart.
Yeah.
Angel Heart. Yeah. And man, eventually Mickey Rourke lost his mind, was like, I'm going to be a boxer again at 40.
A little midlife crisis.
And he like joined like the best boxing gym in the world or something. They just beat him up every day.
Yeah.
And then he still whooped guys half his age. He, like his face would get demolished, but he would be like, yeah, I still won that. And they'd be like, yeah, I never want to fight again.
Because he
retired me.
He could take a punch. So
yeah. He's like, he keeps coming at me like an animal.
Rocky at the end of Rocky 1.
He had something to prove, for sure.
Yeah, I remember reading it. Like they crushed his cheekbone, broke his jaw.
The word I think about it is
clandestine. Really,
oh my God.
But we're going to do a Mickey Rourke night.
Yeah, so we were just talking about that. We just wanted to, maybe get some people on
Put the buzz out, Get
Mickey Rourke night, yeah. Never see him in a bar. I remember a buddy of mine met Mickey Rourke in a bar.
Yeah, he had puke on his shirt and everything.
At that point, we called him Ricky.
Yeah, he was hammered.
And he was like, I'll fight any of you bastards.
And
he got a lot too close a lot. He'd be like this. He'd be like,
what's up?
And it would hurt.
And
it wouldn't be like I love. He'd be like, I love you. And he'd be like, I have scratches.
Sure, the poor fucking guy, man. But I love him. He's a fucking great actor and wrestler. Awesome,
he reminds me of that guy who plays Mr. Z in Will Smith movie, Tommy Lee, Aliens.
Men in Black? Yeah.
Yeah, what was that guy's name? He plays Dr. Z or whatever, Mr. Z.
Oh, fuck.
He's like their boss. He was a crazy man.
Rip Torn? No.
Yeah, Rip Torn.
Rip Torn.
That is correct. He was in...
Is my shirt ripped or torn? Rip Torn.
Yeah, definitely not his given name.
Anyway, let's talk about what we got.
Let's talk about Rip Torn.
We've picked a few other movies out of the library.
Yeah. We're getting sidetracked.
At random, just ones that we like.
One each.
That we're going to talk about. And do you want to start with yours?
I don't know. I think we should start with...
Start with mine?
Yeah.
All right. I picked True Lies. Because earlier we were reviewing some James Cameron movies.
Yes, we were.
Both huge fans of James
Cameron. Bill Paxton we were talking about.
Yes, and he's also in this. Rest in peace, Bill Paxton.
And we got Tom Arnold.
And Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis with her legs. Hermaphrodite or not, I jerked off to that. 100% I did. I'm not going to lie.
But great scream queen.
If you watched that movie, you had a feeling during that striptease. I don't care if you're gay, straight, trans, or...
Well, I like her for a number of reasons, like, because she, Halloween was her big breakthrough.
Yeah, I always followed her career.
And she has, she's deemed a scream queen. She's a great horror actress in a lot of horror movies.
What was that one she did, too, at the same time? Babysitter, or Sorority, or...
I don't know.
It was no
she
good.
She was in Prom Night, though.
Prom Night.
The Fog.
Yeah, Prom Night was horrible.
The Fog, Prom Night.
The Fog was great.
The Halloween franchise.
When she got molested by that 8-year-old.
Still doing the Halloween movies too. Like she's great. She's fantastic.
No, but let's get back to The Fog.
We are getting off track.
What's his name? Rick.
The other guy.
Old man.
God, what is his name?
He's in.
Oh, we should know this. You guys must know who we're talking about.
He's still alive. He's still got better hair than I do. Like, what's his name? Fucking Pervo.
He's
in The Fog. He's in.
He's in so much.
Halloween.
He's in Creep Show, Lethal Weapon. Oh my God, why can't we think of his name? We're both in it.
We're in a fog here.
We've had
he's on Night of the Creeps. Is that
Night of the Creeps. Tom Atkins.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the one. Thank you.
Tom Atkins.
We help each other.
I don't think he was in Halloween. He might have been in like another one.
It's Tom Atkins.
Tom Atkins.
Yeah.
He's in this movie, in The Fog, with Jamie Lee Curtis. Jamie Lee Curtis is like a hot model.
It's Halloween 3.
Time.
He's in Halloween 3, yeah.
He's in Halloween 3 as well.
Yes.
And that is one of my favorite Halloweens, if not my favorite. But nothing to do with Michael Myers. But anyways, in The Fog, he's with her again.
Mm-hmm.
Or I guess she wasn't with her with that. But
yeah.
She's like a hitchhiker.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, I'm a model, just trying to go down to Arkansas. I'm like, what? And then Tom Atkins is like, you want a beer? And she's like, are you a creep? And he's like, oh yeah. She's like, thank God. Yeah. I just had normal people before.
Well, no, she says, are you weird?
Yeah.
He's like,
are you weird?
Yeah. And then she's like, good, thank God.
No, he's like, weirder than you know.
Yeah.
It's
anyway,
so cheesy. It's like the classic line with chicks. I mean.
We got very off topic though.
We're
getting into True Lies though. But
Tim Baker.
All those movies, it all connects, right? It all connects. But True Lies, James Cameron.
True Lies.
Awesome movie. For those of you who haven't seen it, I like to say.
Can I say one thing?
Yeah, of course.
Before you go into it?
Yeah.
So True Lies, like the whole idea of it, I didn't get it. It's just like, he's lying to his wife, he's lying to his family, but he's doing true things in the world to help the world. Like he's a superhero, and he has to pretend he's a nerd. Yeah. And his wife got turned off by that, and that's why it's called True Lies.
Well, and that's what's funny about it. Like it's a paradox. The title. Yeah. Okay, and Arnold in the movie, he's actually a spy. He works for the government. He's like a James Bond, basically.
Totally, he's a secret agent.
The movie is very satirical, right? And it's meant
great
to be
humor. But it's so well done.
It's
highest funny. Budget.
Yeah, it's James Cameron.
Even the action scenes, like it's not funny anymore. This is serious. And then he hits him in the head in the toilet, and then it's funny again. He's on a horse.
But Johnny's right. Like in it, he has to conceal his true identity, so his wife doesn't even know that he's this great.
He's awesome.
Secret agent.
Everyone looks up to him,
and his wife thinks that he's like a computer
Charleston
salesman
Heston
or
is
something.
His boss.
And so his wife starts to get bored with the marriage. He's never around. He's always out on these secret missions. And
he's
she's
so
like,
boring. Oh, he's like a computer.
My husband sells computers, so she gets a little bored with the marriage, and she goes out seeking someone else. And
who is just like him, a fake version.
She finds Bill Paxton. Begins an affair.
Looks like me.
She begins an affair with Bill Paxton, and Bill Paxton is a guy who literally is pretending he's some CIA agent spy to pick up women. So that's like the irony. The movie is very ironic because Jamie Lee Curtis eventually has an affair with a guy
who's could do it.
Pretending to be a spy. Meanwhile, her husband really is a spy. So it's very funny. And
it's hilarious.
It's so
Tia Carrere.
Yeah, Tia Carrere is in it too.
There's a great tango scene.
And
you got Tom Arnold being like,
Arnold.
"We got 5 on your bogey."
That bitch even took the ice cube trays out of the freezer.
Took your dog.
What kind of a sick bitch takes the ice cube trays out of the freezer? That's another great line.
You got Hapu
so much
there.
Funny shit.
The Indian guy. He did one other movie. It was like Scorpion King.
Oh, and yeah.
But I like that guy. No,
amazing cast. We're all over the place, sorry, but like amazing cast.
We're zany. We got one viewer. Hey, Shannon.
It's probably Shannon. Hello. But no, definitely a good movie to check out. A lot of people don't realize.
How about the creepy guy who's doing he's like Tristan.
Oh, I have no idea.
Who is that guy?
He looks like Iggy Pop.
That guy looked like the guy from like Scarface at the end when he's like, "No women and children." He's like, "We need to complete the mission." Like someone like that, not nice person.
He injects Arnold
needs to die
with the truth serum in it. Right?
He throws something in his eye.
But Arnold, it doesn't even phase Arnold.
That's part of that movie tells him for me. I was playing a lot of Counter-Strike at the time, a lot of first-person shooters, and I really respected when Arnold was shooting that AK. He was just tapping it.
Tap.
Because that's very accurate, single tap.
Because we all
you start fucking shooting it off
from video games. We all know
that's real life.
Recoil, how to shoot,
and that's real life. Obviously.
Tap. Tap. Anyway, I've probably gone on way too long.
Isn't it my turn?
It's definitely Johnny's turn. Johnny picked
Can you talk over me as much as I do?
I will probably do the same.
I hope so.
So what do you got for us?
Shut up and keep talking. All right, Deliverance. I have the original fucking copy of the movie Deliverance. Anytime you watched like a weird horror movie, they would say references like, seems like it's a little too close to Deliverance. And they were talking about this movie, Wrong Turn, for instance. There's a reference. A little too Deliverance-y for me.
Because Deliverance is kind of like one of those very real horror movies. It's very like
don't go off into the woods.
Yeah. It's one of those stories. It doesn't have like a boogeyman or a monster.
It's more real.
It's a realistic story that could happen to anyone.
It definitely happened.
Very scary shit.
It 100% happened. Maybe not to this degree or how it
Kind of
worked
more
out.
like The Hills Have Eyes or something like
Just
that.
like an everyday horror story. If you ever watch True Hollywood or any of those things, like 24
Yeah.
Hours, like the truth is stranger than fiction, that's for sure. So probably why this didn't do too well. Great director. He did one of my favorite films, The Emerald Forest.
What year is this bad boy? What is it, 75?
Boorman.
72.
72. And it feels like an 88 B movie quality. Like, what I mean by that, it was such perfect quality at that time. You know, like, they probably used the same camera for a lot of our 80s films that we enjoyed.
So who's in it?
John Voight.
Yeah.
Young John Voight is our lead. We got Burt Reynolds as our second lead, I would say. They probably fought for a lot of money for this film. We got Willie Cox or
Ronnie Cox.
Ronnie Cox. You might remember him from RoboCop.
Dick Jones.
Dick Jones.
And
or maybe Total Recall. He's the villain in that with Michael Ironside. And yeah, you got a lot of hits. You got Ned Beatty, probably one of the most renowned thespian actors of our time. Louisiana. I can't remember where he's from, but he's down south. He's got that thick Louisiana molasses in your mouth accent. You know what I mean? And he's fucking great. And this guy's giving up his whole career to be raped by a hillbilly in the city. Oh, spoiler alert!
Yeah, you're spoiling a bit. Tell them the story though of what happens. What's going on?
Okay, so these guys, you know, they're a bunch of family men, most of them, and they don't get out enough. And like I can vouch for that. I'm 36, and it's hard enough to get a friend out for a night and do a review. But like as we get older, responsibilities mount up. So it's like kind of like you go out for a football.
Yeah, they want to have a guys' night out.
A guys' night out.
Or weekend.
Like a weekend away.
Let's go on a fishing trip.
We're going to go down this crazy ravine.
Do some canoeing.
We got Crazy Johnny. He's like, yeah, don't worry. I'm Burt Reynolds. And I'm like, yeah, don't worry. I'm going to show my chest. We're going to fuck it.
I'd be more the John Voight in it, I think.
Yeah, more level-headed. Yeah. And, you know, I don't want to say he's going to be Ronnie Cox and Ned Beatty.
Yeah, they got the worst of it,
But
so they go out, what? They're out in this.
So they're out there and they're like, hey, we got to get away.
Out in the middle of nowhere.
And also, like, some people are having legal problems. Some people are having life problems, and everyone's there because they need to get away from it all.
Yeah,
right? The big city.
Exactly, and that's a good point because they're coming from the big city.
Yeah,
you know, they're these big city guys.
Well, they think they grew up there.
They
right?
go out into the country in the middle of nowhere to go camping, and you know the townspeople in this small area that they end up. You know, for sure, maybe a little inbred.
We're even warned. Yeah, it's a little bit of hillbilly.
They're not welcome there. So along the way,
well, at the same time, the whole thing is like this is the last chance. Like our childhood, if we were ever down there, our memories, we're gonna go back one more time because this shit's all gonna be flooded by the government, by the land. Like it's time to flood this area. It's fucked up. There's history. And
it's not technically a horror movie. It's like a thriller drama, but it is horrific.
No, you would call it like Manhunter. You know, it's still horrific.
So. Along the way,
but anyways,
they're doing their canoe trip, right?
Okay, so no. First of all, let's not get ahead of ourselves. We got some time. Yeah. So they get down there and they're like, "Hey, how I'm gonna pay this guy to take my ride down to the point?" He's like, "You want to go what?" He's like, "I want you to take this ride and pay your cousins and take it down to the point." He's like, "You fucking lost your mind, city folk." And they're like, "Who's in charge here?" Yeah, they walk around. Some guy comes out. He's like, "What do you want?" There's a fucking kid. He's literally inbred. Like this.
The blind kid on the guitar.
Blind. I don't know what the fuck. I'm sure there's a documentary about that kid
on the banjo.
And Ronnie Cox and him are going dueling banjos.
Yeah.
And that's a fucking epic scene.
It's a good scene.
He's later on the bridge, like, and it's like it's fucking retard exploitation. Like, sorry, I don't. Especially exploitation. It's bad. I'm not proud of my words. But it's like, you can't do that shit no more. But it's like, that's movie history. It's like, what the fuck, man? Who is this guy?
So let's get to the
okay, so
the meat of the
they're
story.
going down there. It's heavy rapids. It's like, it'll be no problem. I'm Burt Reynolds. I'm shooting fucking...
Yeah, Burt Reynolds
I'm
is like,
shooting
it's fine.
fish with my crossbow, with my bow. And, Okay, so Ned Betty and John Voight.
The crash.
John Voight is the wise teacher, I guess. He's a little political.
Yeah, he's got the level head. Burt Reynolds is the hot shot.
Yeah,
The
and
other two
so
guys
he's
are-
like, Betty's like, can we switch? Because I can't handle Burt Reynolds no more.
Mhm.
He's always on my ass. And so they switch, and Ned, Betty, and Johnny get a little ahead of themselves, so they cast off because they can't see their friends.
Yeah.
So
Go through some heavy rapids.
They go through some heavy
Have
rapids.
a little crash along the way.
And they park over on this island or this bank.
Yeah.
And they go in and just dust themselves off, and they start seeing some weird movement in the bushes. Looks like someone's predatorizing them, and they're like, hey, we're not trying to impose on you. And like, what do you mean by impose? We're talking about the hillbilly of the hillbilly. They're guilty no matter what they do.
And the hillbillies are actually on a hill.
But they're literally in the middle of nowhere.
They're scoping them out.
There's no reason for these idiots.
Who's this country folk here on our land?
What were they thinking?
Yeah.
And it's like, would I go on to Crenshaw Boulevard on a Saturday night and be like, hey, it's me, Johnny?
So the crazy inbred hillbillies attack the city guys, right?
They catch them and they say they think they're like law or something. They're like, literally, we have to kill them. That's their mind state. Yeah. At the same time, they haven't had sex in ever, except for pigs. And so they're like, he's got a pretty mouth. I bet he could pray real good.
Yeah.
And you got the other guy fucking a guy like a pig.
It gets very disturbing very quickly.
I remember, I didn't know this film. I bought it from Best Buy.
The inbred hillbillies rape. They capture and tie up and rape one of the city guys.
It's fucked. I'm sorry.
Hold him at gunpoint. It's absolutely awful, disturbing.
They tie that. They rape poor Ned Betty. Make him squeal like a pig.
And then, but Burt Reynolds, of course, as
he comes in and shoots one through the heart or throat.
He's got a fucking like crossbow or something.
He's got a bow.
He's got a bow. He looks like fucking Rambo in Part 2, and he sneaks up on the bank and he sees like his buddy getting raped, and he
which you would expect.
Starts,
Oh, and not to mention John Voight's looking at him, and he's looking at John Voight, and he's like, "Do it."
Yeah. Oh, of course.
Do it. He's like, "You have to."
They're holding these guys at gunpoint.
Well, he's gonna slit his
tied up, raping this poor fucking dude.
Anyways, let's get past that.
Get past the rape. So then they kill the two. They kill
one.
They kill one of them.
One gets away. Yeah.
And now they got to figure out what the fuck to do next. Like that's the next.
So they bury this guy like a foot deep.
Yeah, they don't do a very good job.
But it's all panicked.
They bury him.
The one redhead guy, Ronnie
the trip is
Cox,
ruined now.
Ronnie Cox can't handle it. He says we need to tell people, and I don't blame him. And he's like,
let's go to authorities.
Yeah,
and they're like, no, we can't.
Gotta take this to the grave.
Killed this guy.
The ringleader's Burt Reynolds. I don't know their names. Forgive me. But he's saying, hey, we got to take this to the grave because we're not going to get justice like San Francisco justice. We're going to get Louisiana justice. We're going to get hung.
Hillbilly justice.
We're going to get hung. These are their cousins. And it turns out they are. He's right.
Yeah, they're probably all brother and sister. Basically.
Right. So
what do you do? What would you do?
Long story short.
And they have to get out of this area, which they don't.
They're still in the
not good
middle
at
of the
navigating.
rapids.
They're still trapped kind of out in this area where, the rapids are a lot more than they expected. They don't really know what they were in for when they got out there. So it's like they have to, they got to fight.
Oh, just so you know, I have the original copy of Deliverance, $29.98 it says. It's got the Warner Brothers seal. It has not been opened. $20 million. It can be yours.
20 mil. That's it.
20 mil. See that? Warner Brothers seal.
But the interesting thing too about the story and then the dynamic that unfolds is it's a little bit of everything. It's like you got
Shannon,
man versus land, man versus man, and man versus himself, because they have the ethical dilemma of like, what do we do now? Do we go to authorities? Do we try to explain it? Most of them don't want to. They want to conceal the murder, bury the guy, get the fuck out of there. They can't get out of there because they don't know the area. They're kind of trapped there. And of course then the whole horror of the actual fight that occurred. It's it's got a lot going on with it, and then they're feuding with each other about how to like handle the next steps and where they go from there.
Sure.
But it's funny that you were talking about it being a horror movie earlier when I was like, oh, it's kind of more of like a drama thriller.
What I meant by that.
Scary. No. But what I was gonna say was that when I was like very young and big into horror movies, which I still am.
I bet that disturbed you more than most.
It did, and when I was in public school and I asked my friend, I was like, "What's the best horror movie you've ever seen?" And he
said that.
Well, he was like, "My dad said the best horror movie ever is Deliverance," and then I watched
now it
it
makes sense.
years later, and I was like, "Yeah, it's pretty fucking terrifying." Like, it's got that very
it's like what we were talking about
like,
with Silence of the Lambs. Like,
yeah,
generally you wouldn't classify it as a horror, but it did win Academy Award for Best Horror. So it is horrific, even though it's well. Sure. Sometimes when it's really well done, it's no longer horror. It's not like a cheesy horror film, you know. It's just become a film, but it's still a horror.
Yeah.
You can call it a thriller or whatever you want, but at the same time, it's horrific. Like that scene changed me. I was gonna say earlier, my friend, I bought this film because I would just buy films from like Best Buy and stuff, Future Shop, old places, and I'd be like, John Voight, love John Voight. Runaway Train, whatever. So I would just buy movies. I bought that one, and I never watched it, but me and my buddy put it on one night. We used to play Madden and shit, and we put that on, and that scene happened, the rape scene. He's like, "What are you showing me, man? What are you doing?"
It's pretty horrific.
He's like, trying to, like, why?
Well,
and I'm like, bro, I didn't know it was this fucked.
Another good
people can't handle it. Man. It was horrific.
John Voight movie I hadn't seen until recently was Midnight Cowboy with him and Dustin.
Oh yeah,
so good. Like,
it's so good.
Very, very interesting.
Yeah.
And then of course, like just stupid back story stuff or random tidbits of knowledge is that Voight is
like Anaconda. So good.
Well, John Voight's in a lot of stuff, but it took me a long time to realize that he was Angelina Jolie's dad. I was like, oh, what the fuck?
But you can see that piercing face.
Yeah, you can see it. They have very similar features.
Definitely. But it's like, I never seen him with black hair. So
well, and then by the time he's in like Mission Impossible and Heat and some of these movies, when
even
he's like older,
Transformers,
he looks like
he's just an old president-looking guy, like a senator.
Mutant by then, but anyway,
mutant.
Off topic, but
anyways, he's a big Trump supporter, and you know what?
He should play Trump in the movie they're going to do.
Nobody likes Trump's
states
theories or ethics or way he does things. He's an asshole. But
look
at our countries now. Look at the world now.
Well, we won't get into all that, but
we won't.
I hear what you're saying, but that's a whole other video we could do.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Oh
well.
Jaws.
Can't go wrong with Jaws. Maybe we should take a quick break and maybe we do.
Maybe we could do another one
video after.
We've done 22 minutes. We might as well just keep going. What about App Pupil?
If you want, we've got a big pile of movies here, but I might need a quick.
We're gonna do a 3-minute App Pupil.
All right, fair.
Because I actually wrote this into one of the earlier videos and we didn't get to it. Or Sliver, which I want to get to later. But App Pupil, Ian McKellen, Rob Renfro.
Brad Renfro.
Sorry, Brad Renfro. No relation to
From
Rob.
The Client.
From The Client.
Which I did watch recently.
When he died, that same year, they're like, what's his name? Patrick Swayze died, and they gave him a big speech, but they said nothing about Brad Renfro, and I thought that was sad, super sad, because he died of drugs, right? And he was and the same kind of thing happened with Corey Feldman or Haim. Corey Haim, and I just think that's sad, just because they might have had a dark path, but they put so much into the industry. So
Renfro was amazing, and he was
one of my favorite films with Renfro was called.
Is it the gang one? Deuces.
No, it's the one with him and the kid that has HIV. The Cure.
The Cure, yeah. With the kid from Jurassic Park.
The kid from Jurassic Park. I think he's right before or after Jurassic Park.
That's actually a really good movie.
My God.
I remembered that.
Yeah.
I forgot all about that.
Oh, it's just a dear movie to me. And, he was just like a little rapscallion kid. Didn't really get along with anyone. And then this super smart kid was living next door to him. And he heard stories of how he had transfusion or some kind of bullshit. And
I didn't realize Apt Pupil was a Stephen King story.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Same guy did The Shining.
Misery. I just read that off the cover, but I was like, what the fuck? Apt Pupil.
And the director of The Usual Suspects. Just read that off the cover.
Awesome movie, too.
with Kevin Grimy.
I
Touchy.
have not seen this movie since it came out when I was a kid, so
Really
I don't
dark.
remember hardly.
Well, let me go through it quick. Let's get it over with because it's been a long video.
This one's on you.
Yeah, I'll just get through it quick. So it's a super intelligent kid, kind of like the Cure. He doesn't get along with anyone, but he's super smart, right? Like when the teachers ask him a question, they think he's daydreaming. He's like, elementary was Watson. And they're like, okay.
And what, his mentor turns out to be an ex-Nazi or something,
yeah,
right?
so he discovers that through his research, because he gets very fascinated with World War II, very sick infatuation, actually, too much. And so he's looking into it very much, and he discovers that this guy is actually an escaped Nazi from the fucking Operation Paperclip
Is he his teacher in it or something, right?
No, he's just this old man on the bus, and he recognizes him from a fucking
An old photo.
A photo.
Oh, that's
history.
Fucked. Okay.
Right? So he says, hey, I could give you up right now, but I'm just as sick as you. I want to know everything. I want to know everything that history books don't tell me.
That's fucked. So he blackmails him.
Yeah, he blackmails
for
him.
his story.
And this old man at this time is like,
weird.
Could probably just die and move on with his life. But this kid accidentally reinvigorates his hate and his power, and he starts dressing him up. He's like, I want to see you march. And he starts turning into that Nazi again.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I didn't remember most of that
Ian
movie.
McKellen, man. He was fucking...
Oh, great actor, yeah.
Lord of the Rings. He's the wizard.
That's fucked.
And, yeah, it's definitely super fucking powerful.
That's one I'm going to have to rewatch then.
Yeah, for sure. I recommend it. Yeah, Brad Renfro, man.
Died
too young. Just went down the wrong path. I remember a lot of actors used to hang out with him. They talk about he was like their guide. He used to be the guy that would be like, hey, man, don't get too lost in it. He got abused in the system.
Yeah.
And same with Corey Haim. And it's sad part about movies, how I love them. A lot of it's evil, and a lot of people in business in general, it's evil. And it doesn't mean all film is evil. It just means it takes about 100 people just to make a shitty movie.
No, a lot of these child actors, they get just chewed up and spit out by the system.
Too early, too young. I don't suggest any. I mean, all the people I know, my parents never put me in the film, so I went into acting, and I didn't like it eventually. It's just 22 hours and $10 pay. And just
he was another one of the Corey Haim, River Phoenix, Jonathan Brandis. They all kind of went through that. They were all huge stars that died real young, and it's very, very tragic.
Who's that kid in Stephen King's It? Himself.
Jonathan Brandis,
right?
Brandis, yeah. And you guys will remember him from a bunch of good stuff.
And that's wiped under the rug. No one talks about him.
No.
And that kid fucking hung himself in a fucking stairwell.
It's very sad.
Man, we gotta switch the topic.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. I'm like, let's try and end it on a brighter
We're not gonna end on that. Okay, we're gonna talk about Sliver quick. It's dark.
This is one I don't think I've ever seen. So this is definitely.
So this is like, okay, remember that song like by that band? They were like, why?
It's got a good cast.
Man, say.
I'm just gonna.
Only fools rush.
I'm gonna try and quickly read the back while you do it. While you talk about it. I'm just seeing if I've seen this. I don't think so.
Okay, so it's Sharon Stone, Tom Berenger from Platoon. You got William Baldwin in his prime. He was doing movies back in the early 90s a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so
some good
this
shit.
film,
Flatliners, Backdraft.
This girl, she's got a little bit of drama in her life. She's moving into this.
Sharon Stone, of course she does.
She's looking hot. She's moving into this new building. It's like state of the art, New York, downtown. 2 towers, fucking dope. She's moving in there. There's some controversy. Someone died like the day before she moved in, like fell out of the building. Creepy, right? So
fell.
Yeah, fell. She's in there. You got William Baldwin seducing her. Obviously, look at that. You got UB40 singing the song, black and white. So the whole movie, this William Baldwin guy, he owns the building. He's got video cameras in every orifice of this condo.
Oh, he's the creeper. He's the voyeur. The voyeurist.
Oh yeah, everything. Oh, okay. Shower.
He played a creepy
like
voyeur.
He saves people.
In Flatliners, that was his thing.
Yeah.
He was filming the women.
Flatliners, another one we're gonna do. Kevin Bacon.
Wow, poor guy got typecast with that, eh? Awful.
Well, I think his brother overshadowed him, and then like, I don't know. He must have made some good money on Sliver. I'll tell you that much. We got Tom Berenger.
I'll be right back.
Got Tom Berenger in there, and he's like an old veteran or some shit. He seems like a cool guy, and he's looking out for her because he's seen so many time and time again this guy who has all these cameras banging every chick that comes around. He's a big smoothie, and you just have to look at that again. Sharon Stone, that's her O face, and it's a super fucking whodunit thriller, super crazy. It was a big hit in the 90s. Every chick fell in love with this movie, fell in love with William Baldwin. My fucking cousin, she's much older than me, she was in love with him. I just thought it was cool. Whodunit, creepy, fucking really well done 90s, like Bodyguard, but not cheesy. I thought it was well done. And I think it was Bryan Singer or something. But Robert Evans production. And Martin Landau. Philip Noyce. Never heard of him. I'm sure he did some good things. But, man, Tom Berenger, really good in this. He did a lot of 80s and 90s films where he was like a cop, protecting a witness, falls in love, all that good thing. So it was really cool to see him in this film, especially after Platoon, which is like insane. And Sharon Stone, Basic Instinct, she did earlier. Dark Passions, Mystifying Defeats, Sliver. Check it out. All right, we're going to finish it off. Just a movie, maybe you just passed it, never thought about it. Beowulf. The voice of Beowulf is played by like one of these old British, Irish, Scottish gangsters. I don't know. But it's got like Anthony Hopkins. It's got John Malkovich, Brad Pitt's ex-wife. What the fuck's her names? Can't remember. We were just talking about her. It's got Crispin Glover, which is like super cool because you never see him in anything anymore. If you don't know who Crispin Glover is, he was in Back to the Future. He played Marty's dad. And he's the guy that danced in Nightmare on Elm Street 3. Sorry, Friday the 13th 3. With Corey Feldman. Not with him, but yeah, and you got, what's her name? What the hell is her name? Angelina Jolie. And you got the guy who got the award for Forrest Gump. Can't remember his name.
Lieutenant Dan?
No, he's not in this. What's his name?
From Forrest Gump? Not Tom Hanks.
No. Anyways.
Which guy?
I can't remember.
Who the fuck? What is this?
But Robert Zemeckis.
Oh, yeah.
Great actor. Director.
Oh, yeah. He did like Back to the Future. Yeah, Forrest Gump. All kinds of good shit. Yeah.
And that's why Crispin Glover was in this I was talking about.
Okay.
But, man, Angelina Jolie plays like a serpent lady. I mean, but her voice is great in this. And Anthony Hopkins plays an animation. John Malkovich. All of them. But it's thrilling. It's good.
I've also never seen this, so you're gonna have to lend this one to me.
Oh yeah. I think this should be like bought on 4K or 3D because it's super ahead of its time visual effects. But anyways, finish off with one last thing, I guess.
Sure. What do we in this pile?
We got Exorcist. You want to do horror?
Pick something just totally random to end it with.
I think I got. This is totally random, but it's to a theme.
What do you got there? Oh, wow. Yeah, great movie.
Right?
Yeah.
Since we're talking about Billy.
Frailty.
Yeah.
Another good Bill Paxton movie.
Whose face is that? Is that Matthew McConaughey? It looks like fucking.
Looks like Joaquin Phoenix.
That's what I was gonna
Really?
say.
It does.
Looks like
Looks like
Joaquin
Joaquin Phoenix,
100%.
but it's not.
Who is that? Like one of the brothers when they grew up? But
I don't think that's Matthew McConaughey, but maybe it's him. With
definitely not Bill Paxton.
But anyway, let's talk about this quickly because this is a great fucking
super cool.
movie.
Bill Paxton wrote this.
It's another
and
good
directed it.
thriller serial killer movie. A lot of people don't know about it too because it didn't do too well when it came out.
Yeah, and it played on like TV.
Very, very
you might have
interesting.
missed it. You might have picked it up.
So what? Okay, the premise from what I remember basically, and I
didn't know that Matthew McConaughey was all ripped in this.
He's always ripped, man. The guy's a beach bum.
I look like shit
surfer.
compared to that. Look like a saggy testicle.
But from what I remember,
step my game up.
It's
a Stephen King film.
Is it?
Yeah.
Based on a King?
100%. Stephen King wrote it.
Did you read that on the box? Does it say that? Because I don't think Stephen King did, but you might be right. But
no, but he did say it was edge of his seat entertainment.
Okay.
No, it's actually Sam Raimi who said it was the most disturbing horror picture I've seen since The Shining.
Fucking A.
So that's
really good.
Is why I yelled out Stephen King. But
so let me break down what
Roger Ebert, 2 thumbs up, way up, one of the year's best films. Bill Paxton wrote this, directed it. Even if he didn't direct it, he co-directed it, and he starred in it. And it's just about a story about seeing evil, maybe mental health.
This guy, around in the beginning of the film, he goes with the police and he tells them that he has information about some unsolved murders that occurred like 20 years before about a serial killer in the town, right? And he tells them this insane story.
Like 30 years later.
Yeah, and he claims that his own father was the killer in the beginning.
Right. But he continued his legacy.
And his father is apparently having these visions.
Oh, and it's Powers Booth, who's a detective.
He's the detective.
Listening to this. And if you don't know who Powers Booth is, he's one of my favorite actors of all fucking time.
Yeah.
He died of cancer while filming season, like the movie ending season of Tombstone.
Tombstone?
Yeah. He died on the set. And he fucking...
Deadwood.
Deadwood, yeah. Sorry,
Deadwood. Western.
He was in Tombstone as well.
He was in Tombstone as well.
Sorry, on Deadwood.
So...
And Emerald Forest and so many cop movies. Love them. Anyways,
Rapid
Fire.
But so Matthew McConaughey, he goes to the police in the beginning and he's like, I'm going to tell you this story to Powers Booth, the detective, about this cold case.
And it's very gritty. It's raining. It's got a lot of that. What was that hotel movie with
Identity?
Yeah, it has that Identity feel.
That's all you had to say. We're on
the page.
Jesus.
On the same page.
And he's like, he gives them all this information about the murders, and Powers Booth's like, okay, well, you probably know something. And Bill Paxton plays the father from 20 years before, who's apparently
it's all flashbacks, him telling the story.
Who's responsible for these murders, and Bill Paxton claims that one day an angel came to him and told him that
who are the demons,
who the demons are on planet Earth, and who he should kill.
Yeah.
So Bill Paxton, you're not sure if he's just some insane guy or he's
but there's weird coincidences.
And there's things that start to look like Bill Paxton's not crazy, with
and at the same time, it could all be in these young child's heads because it's from the interpretation of the guy grown up way later.
Yeah. So Bill Paxton's going out at night and he's bringing home these people that look like just normal humans, and then he's telling his kids, no, they're demons and God told me to kill them.
But they cry like humans. How do we know?
So then they're killing them. So then the one son is saying, okay, my dad's a psychopath and he's lost it.
He's trying to tell his other son.
And the other son, the younger one, believes it. And he's like, no, Dad's right. Dad's a hero. He's killing the demons.
He keeps it going.
And so the one brother carries on and keeps going with it and killing these people from this list that God gave them, apparently, of who the demons are. And then the other son, of course, is like, no, my poor father and my brother are absolutely insane.
Or is he?
So let's not spoil the end. It's a fucking crazy movie. It's actually it's really good too. A lot of people.
Glad we finished on that.
A lot of people don't know that movie. So Frailty, definitely.
Yeah, Frailty.
Check that out.
There's another one called. It's with Denzel Washington. It's like called Escape or
Fallen.
and it's very similar to Frailty.
Possession movie, yeah.
And it's really good. And I think both of these movies were overlooked in the 90s.
Yeah, John Goodman.
Early 2000s. John Goodman's in it.
And Casey Jones.
Yeah.
I always forget his name.
Yeah.
The actor.
He's bald now.
You guys will know him. Shannon knows him. Shannon, I think, is watching. She might be
It's definitely
our viewer.
Shannon watching. I heard her laugh. 40 minutes we're going at.
Oh, boy. Okay.
All right, so we'll
Let's
end
wrap it up
that.
with Frailty, yes?
Yeah.
All right.
Anything else?
Nah, I think we're good for now.
No demons? All right, we'll end it off. Johnny's Corner. Josh, thanks for coming around.
Cheers. Thank you for having me.
Good to talk. I hope you enjoyed this. And feel free to send a message or send an interest that you're into, and we'll talk about it. I'm going to do some Star Trek shit. Doesn't matter, man. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
And anyone's welcome to join the discussion one day. So we'll see you next time. Johnny's Corner with Joshin Around.
Cheers, guys.
See you.
Wow.
Yeah, it's probably Shannon. Fucking.